Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I just want to reach out to all of you before I get on this topic. See how all of you are doing. I hope all of you are doing really well, and I hope you're taking really good care of yourself, and not only yourself, but the ones that are there loving and supporting you. So before I start this interesting topic, if you would please give this video a thumbs up and share this video. I'd really appreciate it. Liking this video will really help with YouTube, so then this video can reach other people. So I'd like to reach all kinds of people out there. So if you could do that, that would I would really appreciate it. And also, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I really appreciate that too. So anyway, I wanted to reach out to all of you and see how are you? You know, like the topic here is, are you a dominant male or a submissive type? And women, are you a dominant female or a submissive female? So that is what I want to reach out to you is there has been a lot of changes in the world. You know, who knows how long this has been going on. I know I grew up in a family where my parents did the opposite roles, you know, as far as who's the head of the house. And you know, so you know, what I was taught when I went to church is the men, you know, that in the Bible, the men are supposed to be the head of the house. And, you know, so he should be the dominant and the female should be the submissive. But a lot has changed, you know, in our society. And, you know, so there's a lot of people that are playing different roles. And nowadays, there's a lot of men that are submissives, you know, so, you know, there's also women that are dominants, you know, so whether you know this or not, that we all have a masculine and a feminine in us, you know, we all have the male and female. It's just there's some people that are out of balance a little bit, you know, where, you know, they are more really feminine, you know, and they don't use their masculine, you know, like, and that could be males, you know, where men are, you know, like wanting to be with men, you know, and then there are men out there that wear dresses, you know, where they don't really work on their masculine area, you know, so we've been lied to throughout history and life. And you know, with females, you know, they're supposed to be more submissive, being a feminine, you know, and at the same time, you know, like use their masculine, you know, their energies, you know, like where you are balanced, you know, where you don't want to, as a female, go overboard with the masculine, you know, I can't show you right now, but I'm muscular, but I don't go, you know, out to lift weights or anything like that. And I actually am a female that is a submissive, and I can wear a dress, you know, and go out and do ladylike things, and at the same time I, you know, can be that masculine also, where, you know, I can actually shoot a gun. I love target practicing. So, you know, these days, and it all really depends on how are you raising your kids. You know, that has a lot to do with what's going on with the people in the world. And as far as, you know, my background goes, when I was brought up, the women, I had a mom, you know, my real mom, my birth mom, and then I had a stepmother, and they wore the pants. My dad was a submissive, and as I grew up, you know, when I was a little girl, I thought, what was going on was the way things were, I thought it was normal. And then years later in my life, might have been like around 2012 or maybe even 11, I came from a really bad church, a cult church, and but before that church, I went to a different church before that, and that's where I was learning about women were supposed to be submissive, to obey their husbands, wives are supposed to submit under their husbands, and not that they were supposed to do anything wrong, like to be bad, like to have him have the leadership, to be the head, right now, because I am single, I am the head of my household. So when I do my taxes, I am the head of my household, but once I am involved in a relationship, that will quickly change. I, am a submissive female, and so I always have been like that my whole life. I never wanted to be with a man like my father. Like I wanted a dominant male. I never wanted a submissive male. And as I grew up, I seen how women treated my father. A lot of, they controlled him, and not only did they control him, is that they wanted stuff from him, material stuff. And my father was afraid to speak up, especially when my stepmother came in the picture, so it's a good thing that that didn't ruin me. I could have turned out dominant later, because of having a stepmother. She definitely wore the pants, and she did, with a big thick belt too, So anyway, I want to reach out to all of you males and females. And, what are you? Are you more submissive or more dominant? And what I've learned also in my life is that that's where a lot of relationships have failed, is because, there's a lot of times where there are people that are in relationships, and maybe the female is dominant and the male. So what I call that is a two-headed monster. That really is not going to really work. And then there's also relationships where it might be a submissive male and a submissive female, where they are, like who's going to be the head, where they're both, not really in charge, so you can't have two people in charge in the house, because you're going to have problems. I do know people that, they both were dominant, and, it didn't work out. They were, had problems, what I was taught when I went to church is that the men, the man, I don't need two men, the man is supposed to be the head of the house, and, for him, to decide on, the rules in the house, he can, as a male, go to his wife or his girlfriend, depending on if you're married or not, and ask her and talk with her and see what she likes, to see if she wants to have a word in deciding on different things. But, there's a time where, maybe there's an issue that comes up in the family, and, you really don't know what to do. And so then it's really up to the man to make that final choice, and it's not for a female. What I was taught is to, she's got to trust her husband, no matter what he decides, on the, what he wants to do in the household, maybe a rule in the house, let him decide on that rule, and trust him. And this is a very important thing for the females is, what if your husband or your boyfriend makes the wrong choice? Maybe things didn't go out really well, but he made the choice. It's really his position. And for a female, we're not supposed to, like, you messed up, like, so, females are supposed to love and support their male, whether they're married or not. And, it's normal for people to, it was a lesson, for the male to learn, hey, that didn't work out. That didn't go the way it was planned. Like he wanted the best for his family. And it's not for a female to, like kind of be rude and rub it in his face. Maybe she wanted to do it a different way, but he, it's his choice, like, so for the females not to, like, cut him up, with her words. And, he will have to deal with if he made the wrong choice. He's not going to feel really good already. So he doesn't need his loved one to criticize him. Maybe he made the wrong choice. It's just that was a lesson, just like all of us. We all learn, like by our mistakes, that, hey, that was not the right thing to do, and you just don't want to repeat it again. That is the whole point of having things like that happen, is so we can learn, what works and what doesn't work. Just kind of like I would like call myself like an inventor. I'm an artist, so I'm always creating. Even when you're trying to create something new, sometimes it might take a few times to get it perfect, but you learn. The more you do it, the more you learn, hey, it's working out good. First time it might be a flop, and then the more you work on something, then you can perfect it. So, and that is life, we're not perfect. And that's where a lot of couples fail, is that they assume that, hey, you're supposed to be perfect, and if you're not, I'm going to criticize you, which that is really not what we need to do. That we're all human, and I'm part alien though. We're here to learn our lessons, So anyway, the other thing that I learned is I used to go on some sites when I was younger. I was single. And I wasn't ready to have sex, so I would go on some sites, on the dating sites. There was sub and dom sites out there. And so I actually was communicating with males. And, I learned a lot of stuff. I didn't know this. That's when I was learning that I was a sub. That's how I found out, is... I didn't understand why, I never, was the girl that wore the pants in the house. I always really liked having a man be the head. That's what I love. I love having the man to be the head. Let him have that responsibility. So I learned throughout this time, when I was communicating with lots of males that were, dominant males, is that there's levels, and I didn't know that, is that there are some males that are, there might be ones that are just starting out to be dominant males, and then other ones, they perfect it. They, they actually have that... I didn't watch it. No, yeah, I did watch it. I forget what the name of it is, but it's I even actually listened to it on audio. They have where it's I don't know, something gray. So they did have a movie that they did make about a dominant male and a sub, So that is really the way God really meant for everything to turn out, is to have the men to be the head. And so there are some women that have a hard time with that, and that's why, they're more dominant. They don't want to have a man telling them what to do, and it might have been the way they were brought up, by their mom. In my case, it was opposite. My mom and my stepmother my stepmother was really dominant. Where my mom liked giving orders, to anybody, So I was never like that. I was the opposite of my mom. I'm so opposite of my mother. It's kind of weird, and I desire a man that's dominant. And like I said, I learned that there is levels to this. Is that there are some like males out there. They are really dominant, and I didn't know that. So there's some men out there that are dominant in the bedrooms and outside the bedroom, so that's what I like. Is I like a male that is dominant in both areas, but there is levels, like I said. So there are some doms out there that they might be the kind of dom that are over controlling, where they might try to tell their wife or their girlfriend, or a sub, which could be also like a slave type female that obeys, like right away. And for those kind of relationships, because they are out there, where like he might actually say, I don't want you to go to your mom's house or your brother's, or your friends. So he might really, want to treat her like a slave, like he owns her, like ownership. He could even have a cage for her, where she might even sleep, and might even bring her food into the cage, that kind of, there are those kind of relationships out there. I found that out. You might be surprised when I actually say this, but I have, not just guys do this, girls do too, is I went on porn sites, of course. I didn't know anything about porn until I was like about 21. So that was quite old, I thought. That is when I got introduced to porn, but it wasn't until maybe about 2010, when I was starting to learn about porn. I was actually investigating about porn. I was educating myself on a topic that I wanted to learn about something, and I decided, hey, this is how I'm going to learn, is to just go on the site. And so I did. I throughout my life, I've communicated lots with males, a lot that I never met. I love communicating with males, and so that is the problem in this world, is that a lot of men and women have like switched roles. This is not the way it was supposed to go. Where men are, there's a lot of men now that are letting the women run them, so, and there's a lot of relationships, like I said, that, you might be in a relationship where, your girlfriend or wife is dominant and you are, how are you getting along, how's, like the love life, who's going to be the one to make the final decision, or are you going to fight about it? Because that does happen where, there's a lot of females out there that want to take control and, and tell the man, be the boss, of the male. And it's going in the wrong direction that way, where it really is meant for the male. Let him be responsible, let him, I don't want the responsibility of being the head. Right now I have to, I live by myself. So you want to make sure that you're bringing up your kids the right way. Make sure the girls are wearing dresses and treat them like ladies. There's some people that ended up having babies and like guys, and maybe they were hoping for a boy, and wow, they found out, oh no, I'm gonna have a daughter. I really wanted a son. Where a lot of times some of these guys, not all of them, is that they will get their daughter, more like a boy. Maybe she's never wore a dress, and maybe he likes football and hunting, so maybe he takes her out hunting, which, there's women that do hunt. Like I have my hunting license, I do like shooting a gun, But, I like wearing dresses. I went to church for like well, no, it's a lot of years, from 1995 all the way to 2007. And through the 5 years of that, I wore either pants or dresses. And then 7 years of that, I wore only dresses all the way down to my ankles. So they were long. That was the cult church I was in. So I actually really desire to be with a dominant male, and a lot of women might have a hard time with that. We both have, males and female, we both have a masculine and a feminine, in us, of energy, and we're supposed to balance those two, and so we have, so with boys, it's okay for your little boys to cry at times, not to be a long kind of a stretch of a cry, but you need to let them express those feelings, let them, know what it's like to cry. There's a lot of boys that get told to shut up and stop crying, knock it off, and they need to have that, the sensitivity, it just shows they have beautiful hearts. There are men that I know that are very sensitive, and women, might be very strong emotionally and might not really cry, I am definitely a female that definitely has cried, where I've never seen my mother cry. I've had some really heart-to-heart conversations where I'm the one all in tears, and, I thought, man, and I would look at her, and her eyes wouldn't even get liquidy, like wet or anything, nothing, no tear. I don't know how that is possible. My kids have seen me many times cry about something, a lot, because of abuse or some kind of weird thing that was going on. It's not just a female that can cry. It's all right for those boys to express those feelings, even men. Don't be afraid to, have a moment with yourself, where you might have already had that time. Sometimes people might lose somebody, and my son has cried. His dog got hit by, a car. What are you going to do? Yell at your son and tell him to shut the blink up, because he just lost something, that meant a lot to him. My son, he totally lost it that day when that happened. He didn't expect coming home and find his mom in the driveway with his dead dog, so it broke his heart. It was an accident that it happened, and, I'm not going to, he was going through a horrible time. And some of you men might have lost somebody you love, or even a pet yourself, so there's nothing wrong. And with girls, you definitely want to make sure they're wearing dresses, they look beautiful. You don't want to have your girls always, I'm like a tomboy, but, because I had all my brothers, but I love wearing dresses. I feel good. And I love going out to, and especially in the summertime, when it's nice out, and to wear a dress or a skirt. That's the feminine, part. I don't go to, lift weights anywhere. I do have muscles. I don't know if I can show you, but I do have muscles. I got muscles here. But I don't have to, I don't go and box or anything and have fights, where nowadays, women are fighting, they're in the boxing ring, like fighting with other girls. And, you got other girls might be in the football. Imagine a world if all the girls just like girls and all the guys. But that's not going to happen here with me. I love guys. I love one man, though. I just need one. I desire only one. I want to pay all attention just to that one male, because I did have somebody recently ask me if I wanted more than one. No, I'm good. Yeah, that would be kind of hard to spread my love to two men. I want to just focus on one. And so anyway, yeah, imagine a world where all the guys just liked guys and all the girls liked girls. That's where this world is going. Who's going to be making babies? When God created, he created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. It was to make babies and multiply, have lots of babies. And I would love to have more. I love kids, so this is why I do these videos, is to help the kids out, because we got to change this around, the way people are bringing up their kids. And you want to teach your men not to just be a man, but be a gentleman. Are you teaching your sons to open up a door for women, or when you go to the store? Those are things that you have to teach them. Teach them to open up the door, for women and for men. Where I've had men that must have hated women, where I would go to the store and headed to the store, and there was a guy, and he saw me coming. And it doesn't matter if you're married or not, but I mean, if that door could have hit me in the face, it would have, because he had an attitude. So that's got to change. I don't know what his problem was, but there are some men out there that hate women. If there was no rules out there, who knows what that guy would have done. But there was no reason why he couldn't open the door. I was right there. Most men, when I do go to a store, they're very polite, where they see you coming and they will hold the door. So I'm always quick, when a guy holds the door, I'm like, ooh, and I always say thank you so much and have a great day. We need to turn this around, the way adults are and the way we're bringing up our kids. So, you got to be a great example as a father and a mom, teach your kids to have that balance, and it's not really it's all up to you on relationships, how controlling you want to be. And as long as you both are happy, like I said, there are relationships where, a male will really over dominate the female, which I've gone online and I, some of them I met in person, and the more I got to know, I'm they wanted to tell me, it was kind of weird, all this stuff they were telling me, to do and obey and all that stuff. Where some things, hey, I can't do that. I have a job. I could get fired if I did some of the things they wanted me to do at my cleaning business, I can't do that. I would be out of work, So there are men out there that really, they love to dominate females. And, so there is a balance there, so I'm not going to tell you what kind of relationship to get into. It's up to you, really. But I do like a dominant male in my life. I am turned off, to be honest with you, and I'm sorry if this offends you, but really, I get turned off if a man is a submissive. I do. I love a man in charge in the bedroom and out the bedroom, and like I said, some women are just, they really only want a man dominant in the room. And as far as me with relationships, I love to role play. So even though I am a submissive, I can switch roles, and that's what they call it, a switch, So I love role playing. Role playing is a lot of fun. It spices up relationships, so I don't know what you're into, and that's what you can do with your relationship, is spice things up. Maybe you are submissive type, maybe just to keep the submissive, type into the bedroom, and outside be the dominant male, switch the role after you get out of the bedroom, play the dominant, learn how to be dominant. Maybe you were brought up in a family that, you came from a submissive father, or maybe, maybe you didn't even have a father figure, and maybe that's why you are submissive, of a male, so we want more men out in the world to be dominant, be the head of the house, but be wise, make smart decisions, for your family, and like for women, like to accept what they say and like, okay, that's what you said, and just, just, just bite the tongue. Let them, hey, trust them, though. That's the whole thing, is got to trust them. You might think, he's going to make a mess out of our families. I don't agree with what he's doing right now, like with the choice that he's making. But just, bite the tongue, just, hey, let him learn. He will learn. And what if he made the right choice, that's the whole thing, is that, as women, I'm a very submissive type, so I've learned to keep my mouth shut. I've learned that when I went to that church, women, I did. I learned a lot in there, so I'm not a woman that nags and runs my mouth to a man. I don't have it in me. Now, if you're abusive to me, I've learned also, yes, if you're abusive, I'm going to stand up for my rights. But if I'm not being abused and I agree with a certain relationship and the man that I am with, and we both have an agreement, that's what you need to do. Like, say, hey, this is what I like and this is what I don't like. I do know in a lot of those sub-dom relationships, a lot of times they do a lot of role playing, which they have a safe word, which is so important, like when you really have fun, like, and there's nothing wrong with exploring and trying new things. So have fun with your loved one, like find out, like what your women like, you'd be surprised, like the power in dominating a female. And you might be a dominant and you might know that power, you can learn online how to be a dominant male. They gotta have it out there. I've checked out a lot of stuff about doms and subs, so like I said, there's levels, and then there's ones that want to be, they don't know how, but you can learn from other men that like that are dominant males, and they really know, some of them really know how to, like to use their dominant side on females, and you'd be surprised the stuff that is out there. And anyway, we just have to bring our kids up in a good way, so they're balanced, like with females, and your girls and your boys, you want to make sure they're balanced. And anyway, I do love all of you, and I did this special for all of you. And so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up. I got my things all mixed up. And I really hope you're taking good care of your loved one, your wife, whether she's like, hopefully you have a submissive wife. And women, I hope you have a dominant male, a husband. Because that's really our, then we're in our place where we belong. That's how things work out really good, is when we're in our place, So some of you might not like this video at all and not like a word that I just said, but that's okay, like everybody has their own thing, I can't force you to do anything. It's something that I want to help people out, because, the way the things are going with the world and the kids, like in men and women, it's going backwards. We need to straighten that up. So anyway, now I can do my, this is Starlight, love and light, peace.